Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for the great introduction. And hit it, Jimmy. Hi, my name is Aaron Drummond, and tonight I'll share the story of my art career in Charleston, where it began, what I've accomplished, and where it's heading. My journey's been unexpected, but every step brought me closer to creating a space for art, culture, and community. Everything began right here on John Street. Located at the time just a few doors from where we sit now was the Chuma Gallery, where I landed my first job in the arts. It was 2004, and I worked in the back doing framing, never imagining I'd become an artist myself. Over time, I learned the importance of storytelling and became one of the gallery's most visible assets and proudly represented Jonathan Green's artwork. For 16 years, I shared the power of Gullah culture with visitors from all over the world, and even though I'm not Gullah, I became a steward for its preservation. Being surrounded by so much creativity every day inspired me to pursue my own painting. First, it was abstract art, but soon I found my way into folk art. My father had just passed, and a lot of his stories went away as well. So through painting, I honored his legacy. This is March of 2020. I set up at the city market and found an audience. Soon I began incorporating sweetgrass baskets into my work. My artistic voice was emerging, but then the pandemic hit. Overnight, my 16-year art gallery career was over, I thought. That was a scary time that turned into an opportunity. Losing my job was unexpected, but instead of letting it break me, I chose to lean into it. I decided to create art full-time. That leap changed everything. I painted every day and told the world that I was just not framing art, I was creating it. Almost 3 years later, Ron Days, whom some of you know from the show Gullah Island, invited me to present my first show at Brook Green Gardens, and as part of the exhibition, I did an artist talk. The Q&A afterwards proved something powerful. The stories in my work resonated with people from all walks of life. Soon after, new doors opened. My work caught the attention of institutions like the South Carolina Artisan Center, the International African American Museum, and the Gibbs Art Museum. I was selected to be in their museum stores. That moment was validating. As my career gained momentum, I moved into a studio at the refinery. Demand for my work increased, and with it came the realization that I couldn't do it alone. I hired my first employee, and suddenly my studio wasn't about me, it was about building something bigger. Meet Zachary, my first employee. Zach worked at Chuma Gallery alongside me for several years and was excited to return to a gallery setting. In this role, he connects with clients who want to learn more about Gullah heritage, something he takes deep pride in. Throughout this journey, I leaned on other important community members. People like Corey Alston, fifth-generation basket weaver. He guided me in honoring the traditions properly. Having voices like his kept me grounded, and I knew I had to stay rooted in culture to truly earn respect. 6 years later, my work has evolved and become more refined. Although I still enjoy creating these works, my art has grown into a place where baskets are no longer the central focus, because being an artist is never linear. It's about change, discovery, and following new paths. Today, my art is carried in institutions I never dreamed of. To walk into museums and see my work on display is still surreal. Each placement is a reminder that I'm helping tell our story to the masses. These milestones validate the journey, but there's still something missing. Even with success, I couldn't ignore the barriers. 16 years in a gallery management position, 5 years as a self-employed artist showed me how hard it was for artists to succeed. The art world wasn't easy to navigate. It still operated with antiquated ideas. about what makes art beautiful, valuable, or even important. So I asked myself, what if I created something different? What if there was a place where overlooked voices had a chance to be heard? Where community and culture were just as important as commerce? What if art could exist outside of the rules of the gallery system? In February, I found the answer. A recently renovated building at 12 Line Street. At first, it was just a shell, but I saw the vision. I imagined what this space could be for the Charleston art community. A place that honored history, but made room for something new. After 6 months of renovations and approvals, Drummond Studio Gallery opened its doors on August 1st. Thank you. More than just a working studio for 2 artists, this hybrid gallery was built to become a community hub on Charleston's historic East Side. The gallery brings art and people together, proving that creativity can thrive in unconventional environments. Drummond Studio Gallery is a place where art, culture, and community intersect. Here, art isn't reserved only for collectors or those with deep pockets. Instead, it proves that art belongs to everyone. We all have the right to see ourselves reflected in cultural spaces. We create accessibility, foster belonging, and offer a seat at the table for emerging artists, established artists, and everyone in between. My journey began with telling my father's story, and now it's about creating space for others. Now, this photo reminds us that art is for everyone. Inclusion means creating space where all voices and histories are seen and valued. From John Street to museum walls to 12 Line Street, my path has always been about art, culture, and community. This journey taught me that when you share your voice, you make room for others to do the same. For others, that is the mission of Drummond Studio Gallery, building a future where art, culture, and community truly belong to everyone. So I want you guys to also keep in mind our first event is October 10th, and you can scan the QR code to get information about those details. We can't wait to see you on the East Side. Have a good night.